and girls, dudes and dudettes, the sexy and the not so sexy, big children and little. I'm not sure from the Zoom end when this shit is going to start redirecting. That's the sexy and the not so sexy. Okay, it started. So Big Daddy Kane versus Kamanchi Sly. Big Daddy Kane versus Kamanchi Sly. Big Daddy Kane versus Kamanchi Sly. Disrespect or something else? Let's get right to it. Apparently, there have been celebrations for hip hop turning 50 years old all over the world. Hip hop has, we all know the history. Maybe we all know the history. We all know the history, or at least most of us anyway. And hip hop is 50 years old. So apparently there was a festival in the UK where a festival, what was the festival's name? Seems like hip hop, it was just a hip hop 50th celebration in the UK. The name of the place was it was on Saturday, August 26th at London's O2 Forum in Kentish Town. I'm not from the UK, so I could be totally butchering that. All right. Apparently they had this celebration where they had a mixture of different artists there. Onyx, I believe, was there, for example. And Big Daddy Kane, I believe, was the headliner. And just to keep it tall, I don't have any skin in the game. I'm going to give my opinion on what happened between these two. I might be a tad biased because I really rock with Kane. And the lyricist in me, when Big Daddy Kane was king, and I'm a young man from his teens into his early 20s. So cats like Kane were like God to me. So I want to be respectful of Kane for just being a lyricist alone, but what he means to the culture and all of that shit. However, we got to keep it tall. And as an independent artist, I am wondering what the heck was going on, and I have to respect Kamanchi Sly, the UK's own, London's own Kamanchi Sly. I gotta respect whatever was going on his side of the fence. You follow what I'm saying? Hip hop is a competitive sport. Hip hop is forged out of the fire of combat. Okay, so these things they happen. So I'm not trying to say it should not have happened or it should have happened. I'm just trying to break down what I suspect may have happened. Okay, so they're at the O2 Forum in London, and from what I understand, reading the blogs, from what I understand, Kamanchi Sly somehow was maybe slated to perform and didn't get a chance to perform. All right. Now here comes Big Daddy Kane. I am going to assume is closing out the show. I did not see anybody on that card that would possibly headline over Big Daddy Kane. Respect to Onyx. My fellow Queens natives shared a stage with Onyx back in the Queens days, Nottington Townhouse and all of that. We did a show. It was M.O.E.T, Onyx, the Lost Boys, Mr. Cheeks and them, and Pharaoh Monk all performed that night. What was that? 92? Yeah. Okay. Anyhow, with respect to Onyx's success since that time, one would assume if Onyx and Big Daddy Kane were on the same bill, Big Daddy Kane is headlining that. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So somehow Kamanchi Sly, a native of the UK, does not get to perform. That's how I understand it. And he felt the way, so he's just standing kind of on the stage. They trying to get him out of there so that Kane can perform, and he doesn't freaking move. So Kane starts performing, and Kane apparently gets annoyed, steps to the guy, steps to Kamanchi. Kamanchi still won't be moved, even though Big Daddy Kane's music is playing and they are actively performing. So it appears, according to the YouTube video I saw, Kane looked like he was about to he was preparing to throw hands. And then security intervened. So, not gonna keep you all night with this one. I just wanna go over 3 things. This thing got me wanting to cover just 3 things I have to say in this hypothesis of probably how it got to that point. Number 1 is you never want to be too dismissive. Number 1 is you never want to be too dismissive. So let me give a couple examples. 9/11 just passed. When 9/11 was fresh, when 9/11 happened that day, everybody was just like, oh, we got to do something about these terrorists. Let's go to war right now. And everybody was looking at cats of the Muslim faith hella sideways, coming from a place of fear. It was wrong to be dismissive of what was really going on, because no one really was stopping to ask what would make get in a plane and just crash it into a building. Crazy or not, somebody had to get to a point where they felt that was necessary to do. So let's look behind the curtain and see what would inspire somebody to do that. And then when you really start peeling back the layers, come to find out that that the American country is pretty dirty, financing these guys, giving these guys weapons so that they can shoot down their enemies for them, and then abandoning the region like it's all good. And come to find out that we was really the architect of our own destruction, as often as it plays out, right? Just being dismissive. You bad, you're evil, I'm good, and that is all relative, is it not? So how does that relate to Kamanchi Sly? Do you know how it is to be local somewhere and somebody from out of town is getting more love than you? I grew up as a New York rapper, so going out of town to rap, and you go to Atlanta, like I'm getting ready to go to in about 2 weeks to do some creative business, right? Holla at your boy. Everybody in Atlanta, when I'm doing poetry, slams, whatever, spoken word, hip hop, everybody in Atlanta, even though I had my own spot in the middle of downtown Atlanta, most of the local cats was just like, well, he's a New Yorker. He's not a Grady baby. Grady Hospital is right in downtown Atlanta, and a lot of cats that are local to Atlanta just will proudly use that slang term. Yeah, he's an out-of-towner. I'm a Grady baby. And the locals pretty much will prioritize a local guy over an out-of-town guy. I respect it. When younger versions of me in my late 20s and 30s living in Atlanta was kind of pissy because in coming from that battle rap culture in New York, it's just like the rawest MCs ate the steaks. No, nobody was going to put a lesser than guy over you, unless, of course, you know, gamers might be rigged if you are in all statistic categories better than this guy, but this guy is just local. So do you know how it feels? And typically locals will put their own first. So Kamanchi, and it's already, you know, when you're independent artists, they're already trying to push you to the side mostly. You know what I mean? Not an easy task being independent, okay? And then you're way on the other side of the planet and you can't get off in your backyard. And here comes Big Daddy Kane, God or not, respectfully, God or not, he's eating in your house and you ain't eating. It's gotta stink. Number two, we don't want to underestimate the feelings of the locals. We don't want to estimate those feelings. You know, sidebar is support. Most independent artists really feel that, man, and it's true that if everybody in the neighborhood got behind them, they would probably get on. And we have seen, how many successful stories have we seen like that? Where a local artist, regardless of what they did, and for this example, let's stick with rap, right? Hip hop's 50th anniversary, let's stick with rap, right? You are making some good music. Let's imagine this now. You're an independent artist and you're making the dopest music you can freaking make. And it's hot, and everybody knows it's hot. But your local circle ain't rocking with you because you ain't on yet. You know, as soon as you get the $1 million check from freaking Drake or somebody, everybody's gonna be around because the champagne is flowing and the cameras are on. You know what I mean? But you know, you just like, you've seen local movements make local guys successful before. You in your freaking hometown, you wanna rock real bad, and you may be a little bit freaking salty depending on the journey you had to do. Respect to Kamanchi Slide. And add insult to injury, here comes a freaking God that's not from your hometown. And he's eating off your plate. At least that's how you perceive it. You know what I'm saying? Big Daddy Kane versus Kamanchi Slide. Disrespect or something else. All right, let's go to number 3. Those who don't possess talent, skill, drive, or the gift to create often try to take control of who bakes the pies and the cakes all inside of your plate with the fork taking bites of your steak. But wait, get your hand out of my pocket. Those without skill will try to rob the ones who've got it. The haters and perpetrators, manipulators and fakers, invaders and raiders, easy opportunity takers will try to take you. Let's pause here. Being an independent artist is not an easy thing to do. Number 3, being an independent artist is not an easy thing to do, especially when you've got God-given talent. Many people on your way up will ride on your coattails or ride on the back of your talent to try to get an advantage. Enough respect to London's own Kamanchi Slide. Lord knows, as an independent artist, as your fellow independent artist, brother, who knows if you're watching this, as your fellow independent artist, I know how many times people try to freaking get slick and try to freaking bite you. You know, the gods of the industry, the Lil Waynes, the the babies, the bad boy movement of the 90s, the freaking Rockefeller movement in the 2000s, the freaking No Limits in between both of those, the greatest freaking movements, you know what I mean? Death Row Records and all that, the greatest movements all talk about how shady the business is. Well, that trickles down, baby. That's not just for up top. They will ask you to sell your soul, no matter how high up you are. They will certainly try to get you to sell your soul in the belly of the underground too. Hashtag facts. So who knows what this UK rapper went through? Who knows what they told him? Who knows what they promised him for the 50th anniversary? Maybe he felt like, man, this is my one shot. What if the UK elite were in the venue waiting to see Kamanchi Sly perform, and they told him, get out of here? What if he viewed this as his one shot? And remember Eminem was talking about that one shot? What if you had one shot when you follow what I'm saying? You better lose yourself. Maybe Kamanchi Sly lost himself when they told him he couldn't get on that mic. I be feeling away when somebody tells me I can't get on the mic, man. And it has happened in my career. You know what I mean? You show up to the venue, you're supposed to be the feature, and the right before the curtains open, they're like, nah, son, you're going to open up for this guy. What? Okay. The game is rigged. Big Daddy Kane versus Kamanchi Sly. You're watching Just My Thoughts with Graffiti Bleu, a podcast where I just give you my freaking thoughts. Follow me on Instagram. Rock with your boy. Graffiti _BLEU, that's GRAFFITI _BLEU. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button and stop playing. You know when you talking real, the algorithm will try to bury you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, go to gblue.com. Watch a video, man.